Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to a little bit of an extra special bonus. This is a collective reading for everybody for the next few weeks. All right. I want you to just let it be a little bit timeless, not really timeless, but over the next few weeks, because we've got that beautiful special guest again, our Patty Tate from Willow Grace Astrology, joining us today. We're going to be looking at the astrology for the next few weeks, end of the year and into January, and maybe a little bit of February as well. So join me in welcoming Patty. Hi, Patty.
How are you? Super excited to be here again. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining us because those astrology insights really help. What we're going to be doing today, guys, get yourself a cup of tea, tea and tarot with Julie and Patty today. So get yourself your tea, your coffee, get yourself comfy. We're going to look at some of the astrology first with Patty, then we're going to pull some tarot cards, and then we're going to see if we can tie the two together and see if they make any sense, because that'd be nice if they did. All right. So, Patty, fire away. What's going on with the planets and upstairs there in the cosmos at the moment?
So, if we astrology is cyclical, and so November was this unraveling, and December is going to be a reweaving of everything moving together again because the planets are coming out of retrograde. We have some harsh squares. Squares are always those tense points that say you have to change, you have to incorporate, you have to integrate. And then January is all this Capricorn energy that says, right here, this is where you need to start new. We're going to see it in December, and January is where we put our intentions out there. And then February is the big climax. It starts on that February 14th, but the eclipse is the 17th. So we'll feel it that 4 to 6 weeks ahead of time. So we are now in the weave it all together and ramp things up stage.
I'm really glad that we're weaving it all together because I don't know about you guys, but did you find that Mercury retrograde through November a little bit tough, a little bit like Patty's saying, unraveling? Did you feel like you were emotionally unraveling, mentally unraveling? Like, what's going on? Are things settling down a little bit now Mercury's out of retrograde, Patty?
I agree. So Mercury rules over two specific houses, and whenever it stations retrograde, it affects the way we speak, the way we think, the things that we do, short distance travel, and then those two specific houses. This one was intense because it was in the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio says, dive deep, dig in, get to the truth, uncover it, and then it went into Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the bigger picture. And so part of that unraveling of the November and then the reweaving of December is this is really what you have to get rid of. For a lot of us, I look at it as a band-aid, and we pulled back the band-aid, Mercury did, and it said, go back and look at this wound right here. What hurts you the most? What cuts you the most that you have to go back and address in your life? What is holding you back and saying, this because I can't take care of everybody. I can't take care of everything. I have to put on the life jacket myself in order to move forward. And so Mercury now moving forward, and then Neptune is going to be the last of. And then once Neptune is stationed direct, Neptune is our dreams, and it will take everything that we've been working towards and saying, now you can reach your dreams. And it will conjunct with Saturn. And Saturn says, let's make a plan, short, middle, and long-term goals. I love this for a pushing us towards because we're at a crossroads. December is the you have to choose. You have to choose between these things in your life. You can't have it all. You can have a blended version, but you're going to have to weave it together.
Okay, that makes sense. So when is was it Neptune, the dream thing? When is that
Yeah.
going direct?
So the first half of December is there's a lot of squares. There's a square with the moon because it's square with the nodes. They call it the bending of the nodes. You have to choose, go back into the past, move to the future. And then it's followed by this grand water trine after we make those decisions. And then Neptune stations direct on December 11th. Now, Neptune is a very, very slow planet. It is slow, methodical, and it's at 29 degrees. That's considered to be an anaretic degree, the final. Think of it as this is the final exam of this lifetime. Get it right. And it will be leaving the sign of Pisces and moving into the sign of Aries. Aries is I. I have to follow my dreams instead of working on taking care of everybody else and their dreams. I have to focus on me, and Saturn will meet up with it in February 14th, but it will be activated more by the eclipses. That is a 165-year journey that will come to an end and the beginning of an entirely new cycle for all of us of this is it. This is what I want my next chapter to look like. And for many of us, it's not going to be a chapter. It's taking the book, putting the end, putting it off to the side, and taking a new book off the shelf and saying, this is what I want.
Wow. Okay. That
It's
makes
intense.
it is
It's a
intense.
brand new, what we've never seen or believed or thought could be possible. That's where we're going to be at.
Wow. So we're at this crossroads, and that
Yeah.
it's that which way are we going? Left or right? Are we going straight ahead? Are we going to kind of try and hang on to the past because we get a little bit uncomfortable with change? But all the energy is pushing us forward, and we can kind of flow with it, or we can fight against it. And it feels like that you're wasting your time and your energy fighting against it. Let's embrace, but also understand and accept that we're in this in-betweeny kind of energy at the moment. But we've got our goal. We're moving towards what we want, and we're having to release. Like that's got to go. We've got it. It might be uncomfortable. It might be difficult.
Mhm.
It might be challenging, but I've got to let that go, or I've got to change that habit or behavior. I've got to, and spirit will always say you haven't got to do anything. You have free
Mhm.
will. There's always your choice, and you can stay exactly where you are if that's what you want. But you will find the rest of the world is moving on without you, and it'll start to get more and more uncomfortable as the months go by. So a huge turning point astrologically. We also know there's a huge turning point numerologically. I never
Mhm.
say that word, numerologically, in that we're coming to the end of a 9 year and then we're moving into a 1 year. And I was looking at this yesterday, and I know we're not supposed to be here talking about numerology, but let's throw the three in because
Yeah.
between numerology, astrology, and the tarot and psychic intuition, we really start to get a much fuller picture. Talk about this in my new book, which won't be out for a while yet, but I'll explain it all in there. But we've also within like the annual year next year, 2026 is a 1 year. We also have a personal year, right? So next year for me is also a 1 year, but it might be a 3 year for you, or a 7 year for you, or a 4 year for you. So you can have a little look at that. How you work that out, by the way, is you take your day of the month that you're born, the month that you're born, and add it to the year, and then it will give you your number. So I'm the ninth of the ninth, and we add that to 2026, and that comes back to a 1. So it's a 1 year for me. It might be a different year for you. So kind of have a look at that. Pull the whole thing. These are strings you're pulling together to give you more of a picture. But let's pull, talking about picture, let's pull some tarot then, yeah? Okay, I can't use the down camera when I'm on Zoom because it's upside down. I don't know. What can I say? All righty. So I'm using, what am I using? Tarot Grand Lux. Let's see what we get. I'm going to try and pull them where you can see them. All right, we got the two of coins. We're looking for balance. We're looking for what's working, what's not, what's topsy-turvy, what's upside down. And you can see in the card there, kind of trying to balance on her tippy toes, on the ballerina on the rock there, I'm trying to find my balance. And as we come out of this retrograde. It's not just Mercury. We've had, I don't know, was it 3 or 4 planets retrograde? Basically, the big hitters were all retrograde at the same
It was
time.
all the outer planets. Yeah.
Yeah. And the outer planets are all about the bigger picture and the long-term stuff. They were all retrograde, making us look back at all that stuff. And as Patty said, now we're weaving it all back together in terms of what am I now building forward, going to the future. So two of coins is I'm wanting that balance. I want my world and life to be in balance. And what Patty was saying there about it can no longer be about everybody else. It's my dreams, my goals, what's good for me, what's right for me. So it feels like no more sacrificial lamb. So this is where we're having to pull in our boundaries. We've got the Six of Swords coming out, which is the card of moving on into smoother times, easier times. Thank you, God. That would be very helpful. And we also have the Ten of Wands. There we go. We're ending that struggle. Tens are completions. So we're looking for, I want that balance. I want to end the struggle. I want to move into easier times. So when we're looking then at Neptune going direct, our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, that dream is I want a life that's balanced. I want it to be less of a struggle. I want it to be easier. So let's set those goals. This isn't Pollyanna, unicorns and rainbow stuff. This is you taking charge of your world and life and saying, I choose balance in my relationships, in my health, in my energy, in my work, in my finances, in my habits and behaviors. They want another two, they're telling me. We've got the Hermit. That's the U card with the Eight of Swords. So you have been in that space. The Eight of Swords is stuck. Mental blocks, right? The mental block saying, I can't, it's impossible, that would never work, they'd never accept it, I'd lose everything, I'd lose everybody. We go into that head spin of overthinking, overanalyzing, analysis paralysis. We go into the it's impossible. It's with the Hermit, which is self-reflection, self-awareness. What do I want? What do I need? What's important to me? And then that Eight of Swords says, well, it's not just about you, it's about everybody else. There's nothing you can do about that. You're stuck, you're trapped. And that's what that Ten of Wands is. Well, there's a burden, there's a heaviness, there's a struggle. Because if I'm taking on the issues, problems, concerns of the world and his wife, there's no room for me. And so I feel squashed, suppressed, pushed into the corner. And I'm hearing like, don't put baby in the corner. All right. Comment that below about what film you know that's from, because I know and I'm not going to tell you, but you should know it's a big film. Don't put baby in the corner. Your baby. Let's get out of the corner, people. Let's push ourselves forward to say, I deserve better. I deserve a life with less struggle. I am moving towards my balance and I am moving towards ease. So, what do you think about those cards, Patty?
I think that they are exactly spot on. Astrologically, it is saying everything that you've said, that this is hard, change is hard, but the planets are showing us in our lives where we need to look in the mirror and say, what do I own in this? What's my responsibility within this? And then make the change. And then that's what a square is. Squares make us uncomfortable until we say, I can't go on like this any further. I have to change this. Saturn is the karmic teacher. It's the father of time. So if you think about an hourglass and us saying, I need to choose me moving forward. And once, like, I'm going to put the life jacket on myself, and then I can help and support everybody else. Everybody's going into this new chapter, this new phase, something that none of us have ever seen before. 2026 is just going to be revolutionary for countries, people, everything, relationships, jobs. We are in a major flux of change, and people are waking up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And talking about 2026, you've got your astrology forecast for all 12 signs, which you have for sale on your website for quite I mean, a cost of a cup of coffee, isn't it? And it's the whole
yeah.
overview for each of the signs. So I'm going to link that below. So if you want to check out your astrology for the year, go to Patty's website. I'll link it below, and also her channel, so you can keep an eye on the astrology of what's going forward. But 2026 for me, when I've been doing a lot of readings through December for everybody. You've got your 2026 readings from me, but also just everything that's coming through is that 2025 was about dismantling, looking at
Yes.
everything. Does it work? That can go, that can go, reviewing, resetting. It's been quite turbulent, but in a very positive way because it's cleared out the decks for us. Because as we move into 2026, this is a year as a 1 year of right, what am I building new? I've dismantled the old. So we can almost say that 2025 was like the tower moment. We've really looked at what needs to fall. And as we finish this year, the main thing, I'm going back to these cards, of what needs to fall is bringing the awareness into self with the hermit. And we are so resistant to that because we've been conditioned and trained and programmed that self is selfish, that it's inconsiderate, that it's thoughtless, that it's lacking compassion, that we're here to serve others. And we are here to serve others, but not at our detriment. And those of you that have read my From Hoping to Having books will know I say it over and over and over again. Be of service, be of help, but not at your detriment. Does it feel good? Does it feel right? Is it harming you? Is it hurting you? Because if it is harming and hurting you, it's not good for your soul. It's not your soul path. Back off, back away, and follow your own path. And being of service after you've put on your own mask, you can help others. After you've filled your own cup, you can fill others. But make sure you're looking after you first, because this is the time now for us to come back into balance. So, is there anything we need to look out for astrologically in these next few weeks as we close off the year, Patty?
If we take a look at what is falling away, because you cannot move forward if your plate's full. It's well, look at what's falling away and then saying, all right, I acknowledge it. That's a chapter. It's ending. I am going to be open and trust the universe with what is starting. All of these planets are going to be moving into the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn wants the strength to move forward with plans. We're going to have Mars and Venus all shift. Mars wants to give us the passion, the drive to go after. And Venus likes to bring people, places, and things together. It's love and money and our resources. So the universe is setting us up with get rid of. It's okay. If it makes you sad, it's okay to acknowledge that because endings can bring sadness. And then you look at the brand new beginnings that bring you happiness and joy of stepping into the new you. 2026 is just going to be one that goes down in the books forever. So I'm excited for everybody.
And me, and me. There's something I want to add as well, and it's astronomy rather than astrology, but I've been very drawn to this comet, this A1
AI. Yep.
AI, what is it called?
AI. So I have not posted anything about it on any of my socials. That doesn't mean I don't follow it.
Atlas,
And
that's it, AI
Atlas, yeah.
Atlas. Yeah, because I've got a message about AI Atlas, but carry on saying what you're going to say about it.
So personally, I think it's about those people who are raising their vibrations and are waking up, that this is the time, and that not everybody understands it, not everybody feels it, not everybody is drawn to it, and that's okay because everybody's on their own path. But no, that is definitely right there on my radar. And what are your thoughts? Like we've never discussed this.
We haven't discussed this. It's just been in the last week that I've
Oh,
found myself drawn to watching
yeah.
these videos about information, astronomy videos about this AI Atlas, and I immediately tuned into my spiritual team and said, "Is this important? Is this relevant? What's the energy coming in with this?" And what I heard was them, and they're saying now, hugely important, massively important,
Hmm.
exciting. And what it's doing, according to my team, is it's bringing forward a huge burst of light.
Yep.
Now, we've got the three L's in life, all right? We've got light, love, and life. And what this comet is doing, this AI Atlas, is bringing forward this massive burst of life and light into our awareness. Now, light brings in love as well. So everything's lighting up, and it is what you said, to help people awaken. But for those of us who are already awake, we're taking our light to the next level. This is a massive infusion of light and love and life, life force, life chi, life energy. But the main thing that's coming in here is it's a higher vibration. And this is part of the awakening, of the rising up, of the ascension. And this comet coming through is a huge, important part of the ascension that we are currently in and moving towards over the coming years. And so embrace it, meditate on it, ask yourself, how can this extra burst of life and light help me? And particularly in terms of, if we want to embrace that life energy, the life force, then we need to put down some of these burdens, and we need to be aware of what we want to let go of so that we're free to absorb this light into ourselves. Um, Anything else they want to say on that? Nope, they're saying let's finish off with some angel cards then. I hope this has been helpful for you. This combination of astrology and tarot, I think is very useful. Loads of you love it. Let me know in the comments if you want us to do some more. All right, so coming in from the angels, we've got source of life, number 36, which is a nine. Nines are the completions, they're coming to a close. So the source of life, we were just talking about the light and the life coming in with this AI Atlas comet. And so here we are, the source of life coming in directly from source, from the universe, from astrology, from astronomy. Tap into whatever helps you. They're just showing me crystals as well. My desk is surrounded by multiple crystals, because I feel the life force, the energy, the chi from those as well. Tap into the God force within and the God force without, all right? Outside you and inside you, as above, so below, as within, so without. Bring it into you and know that you are being cleansed, cleared, recharged, rebooted from source, helping you to directly move forward, ready to hit the ground running in 2026. All right. Anything to add, Patty?
I think that that goes right in with the asteroid and everything because it's about receiving the downloads and us being aligned. And the universe is saying, now, let me make it easier for you. You've made the hard choices. Just move forward.
I agree. All the readings that I've done for 2026 were far lighter and brighter. And
Yeah.
I've done a load of readings, which you'll be seeing next week, which I've done on the elementals, earth, air, fire, and water. There's one coming out every day next week. And all of them were rebirth, the new beginning. It's happening. It's here now. So, my beautiful people, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for joining us. A big thank you to Patty. Say hi, Pat.
Bye, guys. Thank you for having me. I love you all.
Oh, bless. Well, we both love you all. Thank you so much for being part of this tribe. I will be back during the Christmas week just with a little bonus thank you video for everybody. And in the meantime, if I don't see you next week because you're too busy, I'll see you in 2026. You take care. Lots of love. Bye bye.